There we go. Alright folks, so where did we leave it off last time with the concrete precast? Got about halfway through batch one. You know, those we did a little while ago. Those are the headers, these are the sides, and we've got to make some heads for the wider section and a lot more of these sides. Yeah, so called a halt to it halfway through batch one because we had some not incredibly cold, but for us incredibly cold weather. Wasn't really a good idea to be concreting. It's got a little bit warmer, a little bit more as it normally is this time of year, just wet and dreary. Look at that perfect visibility, eh? Proper pea super. Alright, and I've made a little tent frame for the concrete moulder, so once I've finished running this thing we can cover the concrete up. And we've also made a couple of little heaters. Here's the little heaters. So you've basically got a big tin at the bottom, just a wick full of kerosene, and she pops out the top like that. This is stove rope actually that I've used for this. It goes on, and hopefully that'll put just enough heat there to stop the frost upsetting the concrete. Has it gone out? Has it gone out? I think it has gone out, otherwise my hand would be burning by now. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean they do work, but it just wants a little bit more of a chance to get some heat in it before I put the lid on. Right, so we've got everything we need to deal with, you know, a couple of degrees under overnight. The problem was it was sort of went down to -6, and what it sustained freezing temperatures throughout the day, so all my aggregate was freezing. Not just does that make it hard to get a shovel in, but I've got no chance of bringing the temperature of the mix above 0, you know, so it definitely a frozen. So it's good that we held off and didn't attempt to pour concrete in that weather, but it'll be fine now, I think. Let's get at it. I like an idiot left my moulds with dirt on them, so now that's dried up, so we've got a little bit of work, clean the moulds off, and then we can get back to casting the parts. Okay, so in the last video of me casting the sections, I referred to the plasticizer that I'm using, which is a substance you put in the concrete to reduce its water content, which makes it stronger and makes it flow better and more workable, etc. I refer to it as dish soap plasticizer. Yeah, I'm not using dish soap. Yeah, right, and I try. You know, I'm sorry, my apologies for being misleading. It's merely to differentiate it between the SCC type. So typically with the detergent one, the dish soap one, it's just a surfactant. Yeah, so it breaks the surface tension on the water and allows it to soak into stuff better. Yeah, so it means you need less water to wet it out the same amount or whatever. Yeah, this stuff is the replacement, more modern stuff. I'd use this on the door frame and the sump, if you remember, if you can go back that far. Yeah, so it's all been a while, isn't it? SCC stands for something something something. It's a completely different chemistry. It doesn't work by wetting it out. I don't entirely understand, but it was amazing with the door frame. The only reason I'm not using this, despite it being this particular one being specifically formulated for precasts with fibre reinforcement, which is exactly what I'm doing here, lots of fibre in my mix, is because it's horrifically expensive. Yeah, so just on this mix I'm gonna try it, see how the bubbles turn out. It is Christmas time, I'm wasting shitloads of money on other shit, so you know, if it gives me an excellent finish, yeah, I can probably see myself buy a 25 litre bucket of the stuff and just using that on all future ones. But you know, that's, you know, just explaining where I'm at, and that's what we've got in it at the moment. It's incredibly dry mix, but it's all wetted out. That's the difference. You just put a you have to use quite a lot of this stuff, about ½ cup per bag of dust. Yeah, I've hardly got any water in the mix now. It's all still wetted out. It looks all all dry and that, but yeah, I mean, have a close look at it, and it will be more impressive when we get to vibrating it down. But the camera's picking up some fog now, and I haven't really got time. You can hear the mixer running. I haven't got time to defog it, so bollocks basically. I'll show you on the next one if it works out well, but I think this camera needs attention. Sorry folks. I think this is a time when the back garden becomes an actual concrete factory, when they're getting stacked too high. Just feels twice as industrious now they're twice as tall. Alright, so I haven't really been keeping up to date with filming of these, just trying different things. I used up all the fancy flow aid plasticizer. What have I found? The best finish is when I'm using a pretty wet mix. I think the bad finish is indicative of a dry mix, whatever the word is. Yep. And with that flow aid stuff, you need a whole 250ml per bag of cement. Basically, it asks for a litre per 100 kilos of cement. So I used up what I had. I've got some more on order, but for now I've just been knocking them out with the regular style surfactant type plasticizer. Yeah, so that's what this is. And again with this, like, you know, a little bit of extra water means you get a better finish, which I'm not keen on. You know, I think I've made that clear. More water means less strength, doesn't it? But hey, it doesn't. These side pieces are not as critical as the roof pieces, and the longer roof pieces are more critical. And we've still got to get onto the long ones. Yeah. So what we got? Another three of these wall pieces, and then that's my 12 wall pieces done for now. There will be a lot more in the future, and then we can get onto making a couple of the longer roof pieces. Here are the shorter roof pieces. This is just for the doorway. Yeah, my days. It's going to take us a little while, isn't it? Eh? I mean, the benefit of that is it spreads the cost over a good old long time, doesn't it? Eh? Okay, look at this beauty. This is a result of brand new cement, so cement that I just picked up that same day, and the expensive Flow-Aid SCC at sort of mid-range quantities. Yeah, so I put what's it? I'm on about a litre per 100 kilo of cement, i.e. quarter litre in a one bag. Yeah, and on top of that, this is probably the driest mix I've done so far as well, which means it's going to be the strongest piece I've made so far. You know, very happy with this. Still all the fibre in this, but it's not separated out like some of these. You can see the surface is a little wee bit hairy. You see that? Don't know if that's showing up on the camera well. But this one, same amount of fibre, but you can see the fibre in the edges here. Yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. We've got our what are we going to call this? Optimum mix. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is going to be the first of the 6 foot wide roof sections, yeah, for the corridor. What do you have to say about this? So, like the, oh god, this is 7 foot overall, 6 foot internal space, and like the 3 foot internal space sections, I've had to use a sort of box of rebar as opposed to just the single strap that I had on the wall sections. Yeah, so we need that lower bit for the tensile strength along the length, and then the upper bit I needed to tie in the lip with something or other, didn't I? And what we're going to do on this one though, we're actually going to change our mix, and I said at the beginning of all this, we're just going to use cement, sharp sand and Temple aggregate. I'm going to get rid of the aggregate completely and just have a strong sand cement mix. That apparently isn't such a bad thing when you're working with such skinny profiles as this. We shall see. Eh? I might actually pour myself a little test piece just for reference. We'll try and keep it stiff again, and it should actually pour a bit better having no aggregate in there. Yeah. Okay, batch 1.2. That's what we're going to have to call this one. Batch 1.2 is finished now. Yeah, let's have a little look at what we've done. That sun is beautifully bright this morning. Okay. Got a long bit stuck in the mould there. I'm working wedges down it. It'll come eventually. Yeah. it's been sat in there a really long time. Anyway, this is the 6 foot sections. I've been messing around with the mix again. I've left the stone out of these. That one turned out quite nice, and then I tried minimal water again in this one. Nice strong cement, but bubbles. So we got to find that balance again with the well, it's essentially a mortar mix, isn't it? Just sand and cement, sharp sand though, so it's got you know, about a 1/4 inch stone in there. Anyway, that's these 2 bits. None of these are actually ready to install yet. Yeah, we've got to go through a waterproofing process. We're going to put the sodium silicate on the backs of these. Well, no, completely paint them in sodium silicate, and that'll make the little crystals grow in the cement structure, or something. Yeah, and then we're gonna paint bitumen on the back of them. So that'll, you know, do 2 things basically. The sodium silicate will make the concrete less porous, and then the bitumen will be a moisture-proof layer, if you like, and that should give the rebar the protection it needs, I guess. Yeah, interesting results. Time consuming. This is going to get us, yeah, you can imagine those 4 laid flat and these 2 laid flat. That's the distance. All of this is going to get us. So, you know, this has been quite a lot of work. Those short ones, you know, I'm fairly happy turning them out the day after I cast them. Yeah, so cast in the morning and then turn it out the next day. These longer ones, I'm not really comfortable doing that, you know, just because of the stress on the green concrete. So these take 2 days at least, and when it's been colder, you know, I left those ones 3 days, and that one I forgot about, to be honest. That's why it's stuck in the mould, because it's no longer green. It's no longer got that little bit of a powdery surface, so it's stuck in the mould, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, wow, what a slog. Yeah, but everything's working nicely. It's just time consuming, isn't it? Maybe I'll have another look at the process. Maybe have a think about it, but I don't need to do anything for now. This will hopefully be a bit easier when the weather warms up, you know. Rather than freezing, I'll have to worry about it drying out too quickly then, won't I? Yeah, but you know, at least the concrete will go off a bit quicker. It'll cure a bit quicker. It'll spend less time being green, won't it? That'd be a bonus. Anyway, God, that's sexy. Right, loads of stuff to do, so I'll sign off. Hope you all enjoyed that. That's the end of the first batch that was done in 2 batches. Yeah, we'll get started on batch 2 once these have been waterproofed and put out of the way.